and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, Moore County was subjected to a lockdown earlier this week. The FDA has approved a new drug to treat Alzheimer's patients, and Tullahoma City Schools has a new transportation supervisor. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Owning and transporting firearms is a responsibility that should not be taken lightly. In 2021, there were 4,818 firearms stolen from motor vehicles in Tennessee.
Some of those were then used in violent crimes. It is imperative that you keep your gun out of sight and secured when it is stored in your parked vehicle.
If you must store a firearm in an unattended vehicle, make sure it's in the trunk, glove box, or the interior of your vehicle in a secured lockbox. Secure your gun properly when parking in a public area. Securing your gun properly when you're not carrying it is not only the responsible thing to do, but also the law.
Welcome back. Jack Daniel Distillery in Lynchburg was placed on lockdown Tuesday after authorities at the distillery received a verbal threat indicating a person with a gun was on their way to the South Bottling House on Highway 55 on the Lincoln County-Moore County line. A press release from the Moore County Sheriff's Office stated that Jack Daniel's dispatch contacted authorities after they received a phone call around 11:17 a.m. claiming that an armed subject was en route to the facility from Maury County. As further information was gathered, potential ties to area schools was discovered, and 2 Metro Moore County schools were also placed on lockdown as a precaution. Neighboring agencies were made aware of the situation and were told to be on the lookout for the alleged suspect. Officers with the Columbia Police Department were able to locate the suspect at his residence, where he was taken into custody without incidents for offenses that occurred in their jurisdiction. The lockdowns at Jack Daniel and Moore County school campuses were lifted after the suspect was in custody. Moore County Sheriff's detectives are investigating the incidents to determine if additional local charges will be filed. Jack Daniel's General Manager Melvin Keebler released the following statement regarding the incident. Quote, "Today there was a potential threat that could have impacted the Jack Daniel Distillery. This potential threat resulted in a stay-in-place notification to employees for their safety and security. We are no longer under the stay-in-place requirement," end quote. The Moore County Sheriff's Office did reiterate in the press release that at no time was there an armed suspect present on any Jack Daniels or Moore County school campuses. We'll be right back in just a moment, right after this.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Welcome back. Last Friday, the Food and Drug Administration approved an Alzheimer's drug shown in clinical trials to slow cognitive decline in patients in the early stages of the illness. The drug, Leqembi, which will be sold under the name Leqembi, is a monoclonal antibody infusion given every 2 weeks. The FDA approved the drug for use in people with mild cognitive impairment or early Alzheimer's disease. Janice Wade Whitehead, CEO and president of Alzheimer's Tennessee, said this about the FDA's approval.
This drug does have a lot of interest around it. It is a disease-modifying drug, so it is going to look at mechanisms that can slow the progression down of Alzheimer's. And so we know that from the data, it looks encouraging. Of course, it is research, and so we'll see if the FDA thinks that it's valid enough for widespread use. But we know that also it'll be more effective in the earlier stages of Alzheimer's, but it does send a message of hope. The data looks interesting and impactful. Well, this is the second drug that Biogen has submitted. Last year, one of their drugs was approved. It did, if you look at the brain, it did help to clear away one of the problems of amyloid buildup, but it didn't seem to impact cognitive improvement. And so, that's really meaningful for individuals. Will their cognitive either improve or can they stay the same? So this is a second drug. It's of the same generation, but a different binding property. And the data to date has shown that it does impact the progression of the disease. Alzheimer's has been really a disease of unmet need because we've gone over 2 decades without any new medications. So now people are getting a diagnosis and saying, what is this? I'm using the same medication that my grandmother used or my mother used. I can't believe we haven't progressed. So this really it's a different type of medicine. It is disease modifying. It's not a cure, but it is exciting in that what we hope and what we're advocating is let's treat Alzheimer's like heart disease, where you may have you may be given a statin drug for your cholesterol, a drug for hypertension, a diuretic, exercise, eat more fruits and vegetables. Right now, we just haven't had that type of medical care plans for people with Alzheimer's. So this is a huge step. I don't think it'll be right for everyone. It's going to be for those that are early stage and if their clinician thinks they can benefit for it. But we are so appreciative to those that have already been involved in the clinical trials just to move this forward. What has really helped with the pipeline of drug development has been people adding their voices, people being involved in advocacy. We just got another $226 million approved for NIH funding for Alzheimer's, and that'll increase that total budget to $3.7 billion. In comparison, less than 10 years ago, it was $600 million. So what we're seeing is investment in out-of-the-box thinking with these biotech companies, which is one of the companies that have developed this drug. And so we need people to say, we're not giving up. We are going to push forward, and we're going to continue to add our voice until we get treatments that are effective and that can give us time and that can really save quality of life.
The Duck River Watershed Society is pleased to announce the second spring cleanup event slated for Saturday, March the 4th. The Society is a nonprofit organization that is based right here in Coffee County. The Duck River Watershed Society is a membership organization that focuses on ensuring that the Duck River Watershed continues to benefit those that live, work, and recreate in it. Last year's event featured over 50 volunteers who picked up more than 3,000 pounds of refuse from the waterway. The spring cleanup will take place on Saturday, March 4th from noon until 4 p.m. All participants should meet at the Fire Lake Public Use Boat Ramp area located on River Forge Road in Manchester. This event is a collaboration with the Tennessee Duck River Agency, Coffee County Middle School, Coffee County Rural Solid Waste, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and the Tennessee Valley Authority. They are in need of community volunteers and volunteer groups to help with cleaning up parts of Normandy Lake down to the winter water drawdown line. If you or your organization is interested in registering for this event, you may sign up at this website. That's drwsspringcleanup.swell.gives. They would much appreciate your help to sustain one of the nation's and world's most diverse watersheds. Duck River Watershed Society gathered some interesting facts about the Duck River. Duck River runs through 280 miles through Middle Tennessee and provides drinking water for over 300,000 people on a daily basis. The Duck River has over 60 different types of mussel species, 150 fish species, 15 frog and turtle species, and all totaled over 650 different species living in its waterway. Some of the Duck River species are found nowhere else on the planet and are endangered. You and your family can help sustain this gem of a watershed by registering for the event and bring your family and friends to the cleanup that runs from noon until 4 p.m. T-shirts, food, and other items will be given away. Don't forget to wear the same type clothing that you would while working in the yard. The Duck River Watershed Society will provide gloves, bags, and assign you an area to help clean up this shoreline. Check out their website for additional information about the organization, Duck River. That's at duckriverwatershedsociety.com. Stay with us. More news is coming up.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
Even when you prepare, life doesn't always go as planned. Today, 1 in 7 seniors live in poverty. To learn how you can help, visit aarpfoundation.org.
Welcome back. News leaders John Gray recently sat down with Lynn Hauser, adjutant of Tullahoma's American Legion Post 43, to learn about one of their new programs.
We decided to do something new. Starting last week, actually, was the first time that we opened up the post from 8 o'clock in the morning till noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and with free coffee and donuts. And the idea is for veterans, their families, to be able to come in and just have an opportunity to sit down and socialize and get to know each other better. Our meetings, which are held the fourth Tuesday of every month at 6 o'clock there at the post, are very business-like and business-oriented. I know you've been to many of them.
Right, and you know, that's one of the things that I'm glad to see happen. You know, when I first got into the Legion years and years ago, you know, it was that way. There was fun and socialization, but when it came time to have the meeting, it was structured.
Since this is the second week that we've done it, but we've had the Veterans Service representative for the state of Tennessee and the Veterans Field Service officer for this region, this county region, and they show up not every Tuesday or Thursday, but once a month. Right. And so any veterans that need help or have questions that need to be answered, or even are looking for jobs, we have those resources available right there at the post, so they can come in and just sit down eyeball to eyeball and get to know those representatives as well as the other members. And we've already seen a positive benefit. We've had, of course, as you well know, we have not only Legionnaires who are veterans, we also have sons of Legionnaires. We have the Women's Auxiliary, and then we also have riders. And so we've seen positive benefits even in the last 2 weeks, where we've had a son come in, and his wife, who is an auxiliary member, fairly new residents to Tullahoma, and so they've come in and joined. And then we have somebody who's said his wife saw on Channel 6 that this was going to be coming available, and so she says, you need to get down there and join up. And I said, we mean she's kicked you out of the house for 4 hours? And he says, that's right.
Well, the thing about it is, and as you were speaking, and I was earlier, I can remember back in 20 years ago when we were out at the other facility, once a month there would be a group of gentlemen come in there for the sole purpose of spending sometime maybe 2 or 3 days to help veterans with their insurance and with their benefits, and because I don't know why a veteran can't take a diagnosis and their card and walk into a hospital and get served.
Right.
But it ain't that easy.
That's right. That's right.
The paperwork is almost unbearable, and a lot of times guys give up before they wade through it, and to have help with that is a thing that just is absolutely incumbent that we do.
It really is, and I appreciate you bringing that aspect out of it too, John. And the reason is that we may not have those exact resources at the post, but one of the things that we do with veterans is we can make sure that they get in contact with the proper people, because your point is well taken that it's such a bureaucracy, or it can seem like it's insurmountable to be able to get in and find out what's the next step I need to take.
And it's sort of like our government's going, okay, you did that, yeah, we know you did that, but we don't want to pay you right now, so we're going to set up 20 years worth of roadblocks to where we can start paying you when you're when you're aging out of the whole deal, so, and that's not good enough.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
Well, really, I just want to extend, on behalf of our commander, Marcus Walden, and the entire Legionnaires of Post 43, want to extend the invitation to any veteran or both men or women to please come down and see us on either Tuesday or Thursday morning, 8 to 12, or come to the meetings on the fourth Tuesday of every month at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock,
and we would just love to meet you, and really would encourage you to be part of Post 43.
During this Christmas season, Academy Sports and Outdoors and Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency teamed up to give some youngsters an early Christmas. The program is called Shop with a Cop, and wildlife resources officers across the state participated by taking kids shopping at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Each youngster received $200 from Academy Sports and $50 from the TWRA to buy gifts for themselves and family members. The Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency posted this video of the event in Madison, Tennessee.
We work for Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. If y'all want to just pair up with one, these guys and girls will go shopping with you.
Let's go to the clothes section. Perfect.
Yeah. We are at Academy Sports this holiday season. Academy Sports is sponsoring our Madison Clubhouse. The students at Madison Middle School that are a part of our Boys and Girls Club site at that school for a $200 shopping spree for this holiday season.
I mean, you want pants, shirts, gloves, hats?
It was like surprising to me because I didn't even know where we was going. I was asking everybody, I was like, yo, where are we going? They was like, I don't know, I think we're going to like a sports store or something. I was like, oh, okay.
I can't keep up with the middle roller. Run into the next.
So they knew that they were coming to choose gifts, so they weren't aware if it was for themselves or for family. But when they found out that this is for them, and of course that they can be generous to family members or loved ones and include that in their $200, but they're over the moon and so excited. So this is wonderful, and we're very grateful.
Oh my God! Ooh.
whew, man, it's an amazing night for them. They thought they were coming to give to somebody else, and that's why we really appreciate this, because now they're learning that other people want to give for them. And that's powerful, man. That's the key word, is the impact. It makes an impact.
We want to thank Academy for reaching out to us and making this happen.
It's great to see all the children and their smiling faces and everybody laughing and having a good time, and that's what is, what makes it all worth it.
Academy provided each child with $200 of gift cards to spend on things that they wanted for their Christmas, and the agency gave each child a $50 gift card for them to keep and give as a gift themselves, give to their parents or guardians or family, whoever they wanted to give it to. So they're learning a little bit about receiving and giving. So.
Got some school clothes, some shoes, magnetic dartboard. Yep. Said he got his siblings a Christmas gift.
Big brother of the year right there.
That's a good deal, $10 for a blanket.
So it's sort of unique in that for the first time it's just wildlife officers going around and shopping with the kids. Usually we partner with other agencies. And so I think that's what's unique and special about this, and so hopefully this will be the first of many to come.
Something like this just makes my day. Just completely makes my day being able to do something like this. Wish I could do it every day, but...
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. As tax season approaches, scammers are coming out in full force to try to steal your tax return. The IRS has prepared this video to help taxpayers protect themselves.
Thieves are constantly working to steal people's identity and personal data so they can use it to fraudulently file tax returns and claim refund money that isn't theirs. Remember to check out irs.gov/scams for more information and tips on avoiding scammers. Here are a few things you should know so you don't fall victim to these scams. First, the IRS won't initiate contact with you by email or over social media to request personal or financial information. Second, the IRS also doesn't send text messages offering things like tax relief, tax credits, or help setting up an online account. Third, look out for fake emails or websites pretending to be the IRS. Don't click links you cannot trust. Fourth, phone scams impersonating the IRS often threaten taxpayers with things like arrest and deportation. Remember, the IRS does not leave pre-recorded urgent or menacing messages, nor will we demand immediate payment by gift card. Finally, remember the IRS initiates most contacts through regular mail delivered by the U.S. Postal Service. However, there are times when the IRS will call or come to a home or business. Even then, you'll generally first receive several letters from the IRS in the mail. If you believe you've been contacted by a scammer, visit irs.gov/scams for details on how to turn them in.
Tullahoma City Schools is thrilled to announce that Johnny Hill will take over as the new transportation supervisor later this month. Hill is already employed by the Tullahoma City school system as a workplace readiness specialist and additionally drives a bus for the district. Hill comes into the transportation supervisor position with nearly 30 years of continued commercial and school bus driving experience and a bachelor's degree in business administration. Hill said, quote, "I look forward to the new challenge. I have almost 30 years of experience, and you learn some things as you go along, including how to work with people. I'm looking forward to this new role with the district," end quote. Hill takes over for Joseph Schrader, who steps down from his post after serving as transportation supervisor since 2019. Tullahoma City Schools Director, Tullahoma's Director of Schools, Dr. Katrine Stevens, says she's elated to have Hill in this position. Stevens added, quote, "I am so excited to have Johnny serve in this leadership role for the district, and I can't thank Joe enough for what he has accomplished during his time with the Tullahoma City Schools." Johnny came to Tullahoma with a wealth of experience as a driver. In his 5 years with TCS, Johnny has proven to be a vital member of the TCS team, and I know he will be successful, end quote. As Deputy Director of Schools, Dr. April Norris works closely with the transportation supervisor as she oversees the department for the district. During the interview process, she felt like Hill was the right candidate for the role. Congratulations, Johnny, from all of us here at Channel 6. Your weather forecast, stay with us, your weather forecast is coming up.
Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Parkview Senior Living, for your dog's best friend, you.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1916 at 72 degrees. Record low was in 1918 at minus 11 degrees. Average high on this day is 48, and the average low is 29. Rain and snow mix is in the forecast for tonight, with a low expected of 33. Rain and snow mix continues into Friday with a high of 38 and a low of 25. On Saturday, sunny weather expected with a high of 44 and a low of 26. And that's our news leader for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.